Hi everybody, welcome back for lesson 2, multiplying and dividing rational expressions. I had to shorten it a little bit because it was a little long, but we're going to focus in the first 2 videos on multiplying and in the second 2 videos on dividing. Multiplying rational expressions is just like multiplying fractions. We're also going to implement some of the simplifying rational expression techniques to help multiply. But remember, when we multiply fractions, we multiply numerators together and we multiply denominators together. But in order to simplify easier, what we're going to do is we're going to start off factoring each part. So here I have a numerator, denominator. Here I have a numerator and denominator. I'm just going to kind of go through each portion, and if it can be factored, I'll factor it. If it can't be factored, I'll just write it down. So 5w minus 25, I can factor out of 5, and I'll leave w minus 5. The denominator, I can also factor out of 5, so I'll have w minus 2 left behind. Alright, in this numerator, I'm not able to factor anything. W is just w. But this is one of my perfect sum and difference of squares factoring. So I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to give me negative 25 and add to give me 0, and those are going to be plus 5 and minus 5. Now you can go ahead and see that yes, I'm going to have some simplifying happen here, possibly in both fractions, but remember that what we're going to be doing is we're going to be multiplying the numerators together and the denominators together. So what I like to do is I like to just go ahead and connect these and create one big fraction. And because I have one big numerator and one big denominator, anything in the numerator that's being multiplied and anything in the denominator that's being multiplied that are exactly the same can be canceled. But just like in my simplifying rational expressions, I have to state restrictions. So I'm going to have some restrictive values. Restrictions. Now I have 1, 2, 3 things that are going to give me restrictive values. This 5 doesn't really have a variable associated with it, so I'm not going to worry about it. So here w is not allowed to be 2. W is not allowed to be 5 here. I'm sorry, well, it won't be able to be 5 here. It won't be able to be negative 5 there. Alright, so I have them listed. It doesn't matter the order that they're listed in. But then now that I have my restrictions listed, I'm going to cancel. Cancel. I think that's it. So here's my final answer. W over, now here I am going to need parentheses because I have 2 binomials being multiplied. Let me extend that a little bit more. If you like to write the denominator and then try to center this is fine. But it looks like it's going to be w over w minus 2 times w plus 5. That is our answer, and then we've got our restrictive values that go along with it. Alright, let's look at the next one. Alright, 2 has v over 4v cubed minus 49v. Oh look, here I have a numerator, I don't have a denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a denominator, just so I don't get confused when I go through, and I'm going to multiply numerators together and I'm going to multiply denominators together. But remember, I want to factor first. So I'm not going to be able to factor v. I'm just going to leave it. But here I can factor out of v. I think that would help. 4v squared minus 49. Oh, this is, I can take the square root of 4. I can take the square root of v squared. I can take the square root of 49. So this is going to be v, the square root of 4 is 2, plus the square root of 49 is 7, and then 2v minus 7. So you've got to know all of your factoring techniques and be good at them. Alright, here I'm going to have this over 1, and then let's see, greatest common factor, looks like I can divide by 2. Let's see if I can divide by something bigger. I know that's divisible by 6, that's divisible by 6, is 84 divisible by 6? It is. I think that'll be the most that I can factor out though. 2v squared. If you want to do slide and divide, you can, but I would rather not. minus 14. I'm going to have to do it with these smaller numbers because there's no other choice, but I wouldn't try to slide the 12. Alright, so this is 6v squared plus 3v minus 28. Two numbers will multiply to give me negative 28 and add to give me 3. That's going to be 6v plus 7, v minus 4. Alright, and then I gotta go back and divide by 2. I'm running out of room. Alright, so 7 halves doesn't reduce, so that's going to be 2v plus 7. And 4 over 2 does reduce, so that's going to be 2v minus 2. Alright, so I'm going to bring that down here. 6, 2v plus 7, v minus 2. Alright, and then remember we're going to connect these with one big fraction bar, and we can cancel anything in the big numerator, and that same anything in the big denominator we'll be able to cancel. But before we do that, let's state our restrictions. So we have a few. I think we've got 3. V is not allowed to be, of course, here it's not allowed to be 0. Here 2v plus 7 equals 0, so 2v, so v is not allowed to be negative 7 halves or positive 7 halves. Alright, so then let's see what cancels. V's cancel. 2v's plus 7 cancel. And I think that's pretty much going to be it. So this is going to be 6 times v minus 2 over 2v minus 7. Now if you really, really wanted to, and you do not have to, but if you wanted to distribute this, you could. Just like you could, I showed you at the end of the last video, you can kind of rewrite things. You can do that. It's not required that you do that unless like you're looking for an answer in a multiple choice or something like that and your answer isn't there, then you might have to look at how am I going to play around or rewrite this so it looks like my choice. Alright, so that is the end of examples 1 and 2.